Person makes a netter, he's not drink wine until Pesach. Until Pesach. What does until Pesach mean? Pesach means till the night of Pesach. Why? Because since he wants to drink wine at the Seder, so his intent was Pesach doesn't mean until Pesach is over. Normally Ad Pesach means until usually means until Pesach is over. But over here, because a person wants to drink wine at the Seder, so his intent is up till Pesach, the evening of Pesach. He says, I will not eat meat until the tzom, until Yom Kippur. So what does that mean? It means because since people normally eat meat before the fast, in preparation of the Surim Sekis, so he meant at a time when people eat, he will not eat. His intent was to prohibit himself at a time when people normally eat meat. Rabbi Yossi ben Omer, Rabbi Yossi, his son, says, Konim shum anitoim achtei Shabbos. He says, I will not eat garlic until it will be Shabbos. Does it mean until after Shabbos? And also el ad leilu Shabbos. He's not permitting garlic until the evening of Shabbos. He only meant because since one of Takonas Ezra was that since garlic increases the semen, so there's a mitzvah to eat shum Friday night in terms of for the man to be more effective. So what he said, Achihei, he only meant up until Shabbos, till the evening of Shabbos. Let's see, Ron. Even though the language he said shihei means until the Pesach is over, mashma doser do oma achihei achdech bnei odom lechul boser. He says, I will not eat meat achihei atzom. So it means until after the fast. No, it means up until the fast. Deine erev Yom Kippurim kedam perak osav es beno. Rabbi Yossi Liloma af erev Yom Kippurim begolio. V'ho adifo mekamaisar eino magia yisur hatzom. Rikton ad leili hatzom lav davka shei ochel humi be'erev. Elad sudosh, it means until the night. Since people normally eat before the fast, which means by Pesach, it means until Pesach starts. What does it mean achi hatzom? No, it means this up to the Suda eat before the fast. Before the fast. He's permitted to eat the meat. Lechol shum, ber Shabbos, mitakon Ezra. Okay. Lin halacha. Now how do we rule? So according to our Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda is saying that although from the word you said it should go beyond Pesach, it should go beyond the fast, but over here, because of the intent, we know his intent, he said it doesn't mean that. Because we don't go what it normally means. It means in the context that he speaks. We rule like Rabbi Yehuda and not like the son. Lo kibro. The Rabbanu pliga lai datkan lo sosam latana lo niskavne elo b'milsa demucho kediktoni b'sev shoyin sarvin. It's only a situation where it's obvious. Inami hoditnan le'el toan dizia demoda b'Rabbanu mishum deumdid nemukachu k'drishes beduchter v'chiodli Rabbanu Rabbi Yehuda. When did Rabbanu concur Rabbi Yehuda? B'chi osa iu hashad deosef alei benoda achi pesach. Shabi Shamashma Achi Yetze. It means until after. Told him over the Hokel Vomrim Shulukova Lozman Ella Kade Lakai Mitzvah Shal Yai Belel Zer. Also brave also that feel Bishum the less Ella Takonis Ezra. Yeah. Rabbi Yossi is adding to what his father says. Because on Takonis Ezra Omdin also Bekach Efshid Nami Dabo Polegal Bro. Maybe Rabbi Yehuda argues with Rabbi Yossi. Rabbanah Vari Leslu. Lokamar Chacham definitely argue with Rabbi Yehuda and with Rabbi Yossi. Although Mishtamit Tano, the sons Kechamirto, Ela Bikilto. The Tano over here, Behovud Lo Losifalot Nan Nami Leel, Ara Pesach, Osir Achi Agia Achi Osir Achi Yetze, Melo Hodar, Tora Kodem Shani Ochel Shani Holech Ara Pesach, Uktoni stamshma seifa bosa ratio grado. Diktoni kodim yain almo kodim yain shani toyim. Pesach do rabonen achiyetze. Hilkoch hilsa kabosayu atkan losh lishon zal. This is what? This is the Ramban. Okay? So he says, even though Rabbi Yehuda here is Mekel, but over here we rule like the Chacham before. Avo Hara'ozal. He says, but the Ra writes, the Ra is the Rebbe of the Ramban. Because of the Hani Nami Kevedik Tonul Gabi Hilsa Psikto Hanu Kuluk Dini de Umdino de Maisi Bosahochi Hilsa Ninu Avagab did not Leil Achi Pesach Osa Achi Itze Efshad Lavakonim Yainko. Hear this when a person normally says something's not permitted to be Achi Pesach, which means till after Pesach, that's not within the context of a mitzvah. I will not eat potatoes until after Pesach. There's no mitzvah to eat potatoes. So what is Achiyeh? It means Pesach's over. But since wine, there's a mitzvah to drink wine at the Seder, and even though Yehei normally means after, but here he means up until the Seder. Okay? Vinami Amrit Alokoi, Agagrog, Hani, Achrini Tono, Loshvinon, Kavod Salatech. Okay, further. Further in the Mishnah. Omer lechaveru konim shani neneloch im ein ato bo v'notel lebonecho kur echot shalchim shtei chavir shel yain. Person says that everything I have is off limits to you unless you come and take a large measure of wheat and 2 barrels of wine on behalf of your son. I want to give you a gift. Here? I mean, he's pressuring him to take a gift. Harei zeyochel ofer nidro shlopi chochem. The one who the netter was made against him, he's able to null the netter even without going to a chochem. How? To make the netter ineffective. Why did you offer that? You say, everything's off limits unless you come take the kur chitim, 2 barrels of wine for your son. Zel kvodi says, I acknowledge the honor. So that's kilus kabalti. I considered it. What's your intent? You want to show you honored me. I acknowledge the honor. So therefore, the net is not effective. Why do you want me to take the 2 barrels of wine and a large measure of wheat for my son? Because you want to show me to what degree you revere me. I acknowledge to a degree you revere me. So therefore, the net is not in effect. Person says, I want your offering unless you benefit me. Unless you come and give my son a large measure of wheat and 2 barrels of wine, you're off limits to me. Remeir Omer Oser, Achiti, he has to give it. The one who made the net could say, I know you would want to give it, consider it as if you gave it to me. I only want you to give it to me to show that you appreciate me. So if you show to me in other way that you appreciate, and I feel you do appreciate me, it's as if you met the condition. The netter is only because you don't appreciate me. Mm-hmm. But if I consider as if you do appreciate me, then the netter is not in effect. Person's being pressured to marry his niece. Rashi, the Ran says, the Gemara says, there's a mitzvah to marry your niece. There's a mitzvah. And a person's being pressured, he makes a netter. He doesn't want to be involved with her. He says, I make a netter, I cannot benefit from her forever. That'll nix even the consideration. Right? Her father, your uncle's pressuring you to marry, your brother's pressuring to marry his daughter. He makes a netter, I will not benefit from him forever. Person divorces his wife, Omer, he never wants to remarry her. And he makes a netter, I will never benefit from her forever. After he divorces her. They're permitted to give him benefit from them. Why? It means within the context of marriage. He didn't mean if you give me something. It means within the context of marriage, he's being pressured to marry his daughter. Within the context of marriage, she's off limits to me. He divorces her. I will never remarry her. Within the context of a husband-wife relationship, I will not benefit from her. But let's say she wants to do something for me, a favor. So a person's pressured to accept the invitation. To accept the invitation. And the man doesn't want to accept the invitation. So what does he say? So he doesn't want. He's trying to turn that. He says, I will not come to your house. I will not drink. I I will not drink even a droplet of cold water from you. So if that's the way that ends, you're not going to pressure me. Mutal Likonas, he's permitted to go to his house. It's permitted to drink a small amount of water. So it's when he meant to say that, he only said that he doesn't want to be hosted. So if it's something which is substantial, that's what he meant. Even though words-wise, he says, I will not come into your house. So we interpret, I will not come into your house to accept the invitation. I will not come to your house to drink with you, as a person normally would drink. A person is being hosted. Let's see, the Ran. Bottom Ran. Lo shei also b'chnisa b'ais timas sibasonen. Hadron lo kodim yain v'hadron lon, hadron lo kodim yain v'hadron lon, hadron lo kodim yain v'hadron lon. Okay, next Mishnah. Because this Mishnah was discussed earlier in the Masechta. There was a lot of Gemara on all the cases of the Mishnah was discussed earlier in the Masechta. That's why. Rabbi Lezer Omer Postin Lo Lod Mekovid of Dimo. Hear this. We had earlier that a person makes a netter. A netter is not something positive, right? Not positive, because it says, you mean it's not enough that what the Torah prohibits for you have to go bring netter. Therefore, a netter is called Nidri Rishoyim. Unless it's within the context of a mitzvah, a person is not supposed to make the dar, because you never know if you'll be able to fulfill the netter. You may violate the netter. So let's say he makes a netter, and the Chochem says to him, when he goes to annul it, he says, if you would know that you're disgracing your father and mother by making the netter, because you have a son who's doing the wrong thing, what have you made the netter? That is a basis for nullification. That's a Pesach. Or the Ran says another pshat, why is the son making the netter? He must learn from his father. So when the son makes a netter, it's a bad reflection on the parents. It's an indication he learned bad habits from the parents. If you would have known that this will reflect poorly on your parents, would have you made the netter? And he says, I wouldn't have made the netter. That's a sufficient Pesach. That's a basis to annul the netter. That's Rabbi Lezer. It posted Ovid b'chvod Oviv v'imo. Ran, let's see the Ran. Shomer ilo yisi yodei shebevazin ovich v'imecho ashtar kalbin adorim. If you knew it would be a disgrace to your father and mother that they say you have a son who makes no kedam. You know, called the Rashi bar tzedikai. The Merces in Sanhedrin. If you have a person who's a Rosha, his father's a tzaddik. You refer to the parent as Rashi bar Rashia. I mean, a parent, even though he's a good Jew, he has a son who's not a good Jew, they refer to him Rashia bar Rashia. That's the way people refer to him. So it's a disgrace for the parent. Because they say, well, you know, like son, like father. They link the two. So it's a disgrace because they classify the father as, even though the father's a tzaddik. But if you have such son, it's a bad reflection on the father. So it's a disgrace. What do people say? Why did you make the netter? Because just as the parents are light with Nedarim, you're also light with Nedarim. That, the Rebbe Lezer says, that is a basis for nullification. Chacham omrim, v'chacham osir. Chacham say no, that's not. Why? What's the reason? Maram first, because you know what the reason is. We had earlier. Let's say a person would, the Chacham would say, if you would have known that, you wouldn't have made the netter. The person says, you're right. But truthfully, he's lying. Because he's ashamed to say the truth. He couldn't care less about his parents. He couldn't care about them. But it doesn't look good. So he says it, but he really doesn't mean it. He's not sincere. So if that's the case, it's not a valid nullification. It has to be for a valid reason. You wouldn't have made it. But if the man's only saying because it doesn't reflect well on him, but the truth is he couldn't care less what his parents, that his parents are being disgraced, then it's not a valid nullification. That's the concern of the Chachamim. That even though a person may say it, he may not be sincere when he says it. That's what Chacham Moshe. Omer Tzadok, listen to this story here. We're saying now, it's not a good thing to make a netter. So, you know, if that's the case, a person would say like this. Let's say the Chacham says, if you would have known that God would frown upon you for making the netter, would he make the netter? Right? Everybody agrees there, it's not a valid nullification. Because even though he says yes, but the truth is, he made the netter, which is an indication. He couldn't care less. But he doesn't have the brazenness, the insolence to say, I couldn't care what God thinks. So even though verbally he may say, I wouldn't have, but he may not be sincere. Okay? What do you have to introduce the parents? Of course, it doesn't reflect well. It disgraces the parents. What about, it's an indication you're disgracing God? You're going against the will of God? So he says in Cain, Ein Nedarim, he says if that's the case, there's no such thing as netter. Because we would say with certainty, if that would be a valid nullification, does anybody want to go against God? The answer is, because we're concerned, it may not be sincere. What about something between the parents? A child said to his parents, you cannot come to my house. Got upset with his parents, you cannot benefit from us. So there you could say he feels bad that he hurt his parents. There he hurt his parents. It's not a reflection on the parents. So there everybody agrees, even the Chacham agree, that's a basis point out. Like we had a case before, a person saw people picking from his orchard. And then he realized a number of the people were a brother, his father, his mother. He says, if I would have known they were picking, I wouldn't have made the netter. If I would have known that I hurt my parents' feelings, I wouldn't have hurt their feelings. So that's sincere, because a child doesn't want to hurt. To say it doesn't reflect well because they'd have a son who did that already it's weak. But if it's that directly in the front of them, because I said they cannot benefit, even the Chacham agree that's a valid notification. Listen to this, Poslan bin Nolad. You can actually annul the netter, annul what's nolad. Let's say at the time of the netter, let's say the Gemara Mishnah is going to say a case. I said, I make a netter, this house is off limits to me. And then they turn that house into a shul, into a Beis HaKnesses. So the person says, well, if I would have known that it was made into a shul, I wouldn't have made the netter. A Pesach is only, at the time of the netter, it had relevance to that time that it could have been made into a shul. Something being transformed into a shul, that's something that happens later. Know that, it's something that happens later. It's not something I wasn't aware of. It has to be you're not aware of the possibility, which is possible from the very beginning when you make the netter. And of course, what is nullification netter? There's a weakness in the inception of the netter. So if it's in the inception netter, the possibility of what happens already is possible when you originally made the netter. That's the reason why a posted bin nolad. You following the rationale? A netter is not, when I annul it, it's retroactive. No, it's retroactive. It's like it never existed. So therefore, if it's retroactive, that means when I made the netter, that basis already existed then. No, I wasn't aware it was that. No, which means it happened later. But it could happen. It could have happened even then. I'll give you an example. We had Reb Kiva. He originally was disinherited by his father-in-law. He disinherited his daughter. So Reb Kiva was matir, an older netter. What did he say to his father? If you would have known that you would have a son-in-law who's going to be a great Torah sage, would have you made the netter? So Tosa said, but that's no lot, right? When he made the netter, he was an ignorant person. He was an ignorant shepherd. Tosa says, anybody who initially commits himself to study from the very beginning, he's destined to be a great Torah sage. So that potential existed originally. Even though when he was an ignoramus at that moment, meaning a building being turned into a shul, that's something that's unusual. That doesn't exist from the very beginning. But somebody who wants to learn the transition into a Torah sage, that's not unusual, as long as you apply yourself sufficiently. Yeah. Person says, I will not benefit from that person, and he became a sofer, so either a Talmud Chochem or he became a scribe. Osho Yemesi is benovam ilo yosder shu nasa sofer. Osho Yemesi benosa bekorov lo yisi no there. Konel by zeshen nichnas nasa beis hakneses. Omar ilo yisi yoder shu nasa beis hakneses. If I would have known this structure we made it to shul, lo yisi no there. Rabbi Lezer Mati. Rabbi Lezer again he says Yemati benolad, even though it's something which wasn't meant to happen, it's unusual, doesn't make a difference, that's a basis for Chamoshim. We rule like the Chacham. Let's see the Ran now in these cases. Omalo. Omrlo. Imkain in the Dorim, Klomer, Afilu Reb Lezer Vodo the Rabbonon, the Torah Mokum in Poslim. Why? The Misa, the Poslim in Dorim, Morim Forish. More explains, the Forish, my Dovish Meno Levain Oviv, Kigon Sheosuman Nosa. He says to his parents, you cannot benefit from me. So we say, even the Chacham agree that if you would have known that you would have hurt your parents to such a degree, would have you made it? He says, no, that's basic, that's valid. Miu neither maskin hocha they posting the kavod hamoko. You say you don't use as a basis to say if you would have known God frowns upon this, you wouldn't have made the neder. That's everybody agrees that there's no basis. Why? Dafke b'chvod hamokom who they posted mishum dim isa the posted in the Nedarim nitorim yofim. If the Gemara explains, if that's the case, you never know because the person may not be sincere. He'll say I wouldn't have, but really because he's ashamed to say the truth. Nobody has that degree of insolence to say, although I'm taking God's honor lightly, even though that wouldn't have been a reason for him to hold back, but he's going to lie. He's not going to say the truth. Posting. Here. What about a person's he made a neder, he will not benefit from a pair of tefillin. It's a mitzvah. Right? The matzah is off limits. A mitzvah is different. Against God, that's in the front. That a person doesn't have that degree of insolence, he won't be sincere. He'll lie. But a person says, a lot of people are lax in doing mitzvahs. So it's not such a terrible thing. So there, the person will tell the truth. So if the person there will tell the truth and he says, if I would have known, I wouldn't have, you can take it face value. We don't say, he doesn't have the chutzpah to say differently. He says, come on, let's say he says, I made the neder because I cannot tolerate the man. So the Dayan says, there's a negative commandment, you're not permitted to hate your fellow in your heart. If that was the basis that if you would have known that was an expression of hating your brother in your heart, would have you made it? And the man says, I wouldn't have. There you can believe the man. Because a lot of people, it's not the end of the world. People take that, even though they know it's a Torah violation, they don't take it that seriously. If it's direct affront to God, that's already, we're concerned a person will not be sincere lie. Although he couldn't care less. If you would have known initially that God would have frowned and would have you, the person really couldn't care less, but he'd say, I wouldn't have. But if a person says, if you would have known, you would have been in violation of this, you hated by making the neder, it was an expression of the hate, hating your brother in your heart would have made it, the man will tell the truth. So if he says, I wouldn't have, you can take that face value. Okay? Why? The money, people don't take it that seriously. He's not going to lomar. Akol modim bekavad rabo shenemami titnan more rabo karoshmai hilkoch impot. He said, what about if he says first made a neder that his rebbe cannot benefit from him? His rebbe, and we're talking about Rabbi Muvok. His rebbe who taught him the majority of his knowledge, and they say to him, if you would have known that your obligation to revere your rebbe is no less than revering God. So he says he's citing Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi says you don't use that as a basis. Because there also, when the person hears that God equates revering your Rebbe as him, the person will not lie. Will lie there. Will lie. Therefore, he can't be trusted. You can't use that as a basis for what? For the nullification of the neder. Okay? Right. The Gemara says that why don't we use kavod hamokom? Right? Because if not, there's no nedarim. So what does it mean? There's no nedarim. So Ron cited the first interpretation. My in nedarim, we're in the Gemara. Amar ba'im kain in nedarim nitorin yofeh. Nedarim means we cannot trust a man. Because who has the insolence to say I couldn't care less what God thinks? Mm-hmm. So people will lie. So therefore you can't rely on the person's words because maybe he's not sincere what he's saying. Okay, that's Abayi. Rabba Mikain in the Dorm Nishon L'Chochem. Now we have to do the run here. What does that mean? Imkain the postal lo bekover amokolo in the Dorm Nishon L'Chochem shkol echod ve'echod posech pesach la'atzmo shri pesach ze roy l'chol dorim. He says, if that's the case, what do I have to go to the Chochem? What do you normally have to go to a Chochem to be matir neder? No, of course he has to come up with a reason why. But if we say we have one generic qualification, if you would have known God would have frowned it when you made a neder, you know what happens? Nobody's going to a Chochem to be matir neder. The man said, what do I have to bother myself with the rabbi? I have to pay him a fee every time I go? There's one remedy for all nedarim. God would have frowned on it. He went once, twice, 3 times to the rabbi. The rabbi always used the same remedy. So I have to go to the rabbi, and I know how to do it myself. But the fact is it's not good, because when you make an eder, you can't nullify it yourself. You have to go to someone else to nullify it, okay? So because it'll lead to not good things, that's the first part. He says, the kashalon. So the Ran says, if that's what it means, he says, he hear this? He says, if that's the reason, that if he has one remedy for everything, Reb Lezer holds that you could what? If you could use as a basis, covered of imo. What do you mean? He goes to the rabbi. If you would have known, your parents would be embarrassed that you made Nedarim. So again, you have one solution, one remedy for everything. And yet Reb Lezer says that you can. If that is the issue, why does he differentiate between covered of imo and covered hamokim, God's honor? V'efshir leilu Reb Lezer d'iko Nedarim d'kilu kulahai shein lo imo zilzo behen v'hani leko l'miftach v'hu b'covered of Hilko came to Chol Nedarim lo sagilu b'hai pischo in Nedarim sagilu poskin maskin b'shmaitzin. Rabbanon tzvirle dem isa the poskin kulu nidri im kain ein Nedarim l'shon l'chochem. He says like this regarding Nedarim, they won't always use. See, let's say you come to the chochem can't come up with a pesach. So what's last ditch solution? If your parents would have been disgraced, would have you? So since it's not always the same answer, but if you always use God in the picture, then it's gone. Okay? Because your parents aren't always disgraced. If it's a matter of a lesser seriousness. Odef sheli loma hochim. Omer Rabbi, in kein ein Nedarim mutorim yofer, shmoder Reb Lezer. The Rabbana becovered amoko, polig becovered of yimo, vahi time of gufe. He will the Reb Lezer lo chayish lo time the Nedarim mutorim yofer. Rabba polig alei voma ein covered amokom kushta kamrid. The ikol mechosh le'ein Nedarim nitorim yofer mishum hochi kuli alma modu de posen bo. Covered of the imo, afilu Rabbanu lo chayshi bei le'ein Nedarim nitorim yofer dot nan lo covered mitzvah. 1 second. Okay, let's go further. So Rabba says in kein ein Nedarim nishon l'chochem. The way we're learning, if a person would use always the remedy, God frowns upon a person who's not going to a chochem. Tanan, we learn in the Mishnah, umodim chachom Reb Lezer b'dover shebeinu levein ovimo sheposen lo b'chvod ovimo. It says the chachom concur Reb Lezer that if you make a neder against your parents, meaning not to benefit from your parents, can't benefit from you, even Reb Lezer is in agreement that what? It's a basis. Bishlam al-Abayi domin keinin dorim nitorim yofer, according to Abayi, that he says because we can't trust the sincerity, so we make such a differentiation. In terms of disgracing a parent, a person may not care, so you can't trust him. But let's say a person hurts his parents by saying you can't benefit from me. That everybody's sincere in that, because everybody doesn't want to hurt his parents. You understand, Norman? Again, the Chacham say, if you would know your parents would be disgraced because you make a neder, would you make the neder? Abayis learns the pshat. What's it called? We say a person may lie, but let's say a person made a neder, said to his father, you cannot come in my house. My house is off limits to you. Everybody agrees that there we're not concerned he may lie, because no child wants to hurt a parent. That's directly hurting the parent. Okay? So therefore, that's the reason why the Chachamim could concur with Reb Lezer in saying when the parents can't benefit from him. Okay? 1 second. So Rabbi Shlom by Domim Kain ein Nedarim nitorim. Rega. Bishlam al-Abayi domim kain ein Nedarim nitorim, because otherwise the Nedarim they can't be trusted. That's why Reb Lezer the Chacham argue. But over here it's a chutzpah. A person feels ashamed. He made a neder that his parents can benefit from. That's brazenness. Whoever hurts a parent that way. If I would have known that I behaved so arrogantly that my parent, but if you're telling me it's a one remedy solution, a person's not going to come to a chacham, so why over here could you use this? Right? If the whole idea is, right, a person says, if you would have known you'd hurt your parents, would you go? Cave the Nidri lo sagilho the lav chochom. Ochan ami poschim. 1 second. Ami cave the Nidri lo sagi lo the lav. 1 second. Below chochom. How does he explain this? Chochom my poschim cave the Nidri lo sagi shari b'shanor in poschim them b'kovido of the imo talk sheni yodea limso ben pencil sorchu sheni licho. Saying phenomenal, saying beautiful. What's the concern? If you say, how does the Rebbe live? What does it mean? A posting the mokum, the covered mokum. If a person would know, God frowns upon it. So you have one remedy solution. Nobody's going to a chacham. But he says the chacham agree that if he says to his parents, you cannot benefit from my possessions, there you could use that. But the man will have one remedy solution. Very simple. Under normal circumstances, let's say he makes a netter that Shimon cannot benefit from him. Then definitely he has to go to a chacham. So since he's already in the mode of going to a chacham, he'll go for a chacham even when it comes to his parents. You got it? If he says God frowns upon it, that's true regarding everybody. So that's the reason everybody agrees. You can't use that as a basis. But over here, it's only a specific case. So under normal circumstances, he does go to a chacham. Since he goes to a chacham, therefore he'll go to the chacham here also. Very simple. Vod Omer Rebbe Lezer posted minolad. Now this is the Gemara. How do you know Adi Choshev Kimes? How do you know a poor man is considered like a person died? Learn from Dasav Avira. That's this Gemara here. Posted minolad. Wait. So let's say a person makes a netter. So and so cannot benefit from me, and then the person dies, or whatever it is. Originally, Moshe Rabbeinu took an oath to his father-in-law. He will not return to Mitzrayim. Why? Because Das Navirim, they're out they informed on it. Right? That's what he took. Hashem comes to Moshe and says, Mesu Anoshim. The people who wanted to kill you, they died. There's a person normally, when he made the shvur, did he understand? At that moment, were they ready to die? They weren't ready to die. So when did they die? They died at a later date. And yet, that was a basis Hashem nullified his shvur. He took an oath to his father. He will not leave because those people are out to kill me. So at that time, Dasan Viram were vibrant, fully functioning. Hashem comes and says, no, you can go back because they died. Therefore, I nullified the shvur, the oath. So that's nolad. When you took the shvur, at that time, were they meant to die? They weren't meant to die then. So something happened later. And yet that's a basis for nullification. That's the Gemara's question. Okay? My time is the Rebbe Lezer. Says all the people who sought your life, they died. How could that be a basis for nullification of the oath? Misa's nolad death. At the time that he took the oath, they weren't meant to die. Mikanche boschem nolad. So Rebbe Lezer says, you see clearly from the Torah, you could. Even though it wasn't meant to be at that time, it's something, right? That's a basis. Rabbana, my time, what Rabbana disagree? Very simple. Sabi hani kimaisu. Hani kimais, did they die? Even when Hashem says they died, did they actually die? They didn't die. Rabbi Yochanan said, whenever you find the expression quarreling and fighting, who's that referring to? Einon elo dosav aviron. Nitzim and nitzovim, they're standing with an arrogant posture and quarreling. That doesn't aviron. Correct? So if that's the case, but if they died, we find doesn't aviron later. Right? So how could they be alive? Elam rishloke shiyordim. What does it mean? They lost their wealth. They lost their wealth. So when they wanted to inform on him, and they did inform him, they could have lost their wealth immediately. That's something that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen later. It happened any moment. So since that could be even at the time when the netter was made, therefore that's nola. Dying, they weren't meant to die then. They were meant to die later. A person who doesn't merit to have children, he's like a dead person. Shenemar, Rochel says to Yaakov, give me children, otherwise I will die. I consider myself like a dead person. That's what Rochel says to Yaakov. 4 people are classified as dead people. 4, the Oni Choshev Kemes, Mitzora, a leper, Suma, a blind person, Umishen lo bonim. Person doesn't have children. Oni Dichsiv, where do we know that Oni Choshev Kemes? Hashem says to Moshe, Ki Mesu Kol Anoshim. The people who sought your life, they died. That means they became impoverished. Mitzora, where do we find Mitzora's Choshev Kemes? Dichsiv Al Nosi Kemes. When Moshe Rabbeinu was expelled for Miriam, when she became a leper, he said she should not be like a dead person. Suma Dichsiv V'machashakim Hoshimani Kemesi Olam. I'm like in the darkness, like a dead person. Mishay lo bonim Dichsiv Holy bonim V'mayin Meisonochi. That's what Rachel Imenu had said. Yep. So besides Yerushalmi, impoverishment is not something unusual. You could have wealth, and in a moment you could lose it. See, Vov. Yeah. He says Yerushalmi also. What about regret? I regret I made it. See, Pesach means if I would have known then, I wouldn't have. Charota means I regret. People regret a lot of things, right? Regret, he says, that's not known. Because people very often they speak when they're upset, then they regret afterwards what they said, right? Over here, Yisro adjured Moshe, he cannot leave because he's not allowing him to go back. So if doesn't Aviram, because they were alive, so he says now they died. That's no lot. But if you say that that they lost their wealth, so that could happen any moment. You know, the Gemara says in Shabbos that wealth is Galgal HaChozer. It's the wheel of fortune. What is the wheel of fortune? You ever see wheel of fortune being spun? You know, they used to have the game shows. You spin it, you can be on top, and in a moment you can be on the bottom. One spin of the wheel, you're on the bottom. That's how quickly it could go. It's like a blink of an eye. So it's not something unusual. People rise, they fall. That's what it is. So therefore, that's not no lot. Regret, people get upset, they say things. Afterwards, you regret what you said. That's not unusual. Okay. Tanya. We had this in the first parak. Hamudur hanomi chavero. A person makes a netter that he cannot benefit from him. Let's say Reuven says to Shimon, you cannot benefit from me. And then Reuven, who made the netter, is matin netter. And he lets Shimon benefit from him. So what does Shimon think? Something wrong over here. And Shimon is not aware that they were matin netter. So it seems to be that Reuven is violating the netter. Right? So therefore, muda no michaveiro ematirin lo ela befonov. You have to nullify it in his presence, meaning make him aware of it. Rashi, Ran, I mean. Ikamandiyam davke shanedel tzor chaveiro kenedish no de Moshe liyisro leishivimo la noso ushus sitkyodim v'chanetz the ma'asim somach shoyso l'toelo so kadesh livazu. Avnerish nodash lotzor chaver matirin lo shlo befonov. Staverdom ilso tell you my plea. Yerushalmi says we're talking about a neder that was made on behalf in a person's benefit. We'll see the Gemara. Gemara says Manonon. Where do we see that you have to be made aware when you matir neder or an oath? Omer Rav Nachman Nechsi v'yom hashal Moshe b'midron leich shuv Mitzrayim. Return to Mitzrayim. 1 second. Let's see what this is. Beis Mitzrayim moch. Kimeis kol anoshim. Omlo b'midyon. Omalo b'midyon odarto loch. Midyon, that's where you took the oath. V'hatir nidroch b'midron. Therefore, the neder has to be annulled in midron. The midron, you took the chsiv vayol Moshe, ein olo elishua. Olo is an expression of oath. He took an oath to Yisro, he's not leaving. Right? So where was the oath taken? It was taken in midron. The chsiv vayovo ito ba'olo. Vayoel is an expression of oath. As it says, vayovo ito ba'olo. Bach. Yeah. V'gam b'melchum chanetzer morad asher hishbiu be'elokim. It says by Tzidkiyahu Melech, he was the king of Judah, he was taken to exile. He took an oath. What was the story? The Gemara is going to say the Nebuchadnezzar was worse than an animal. He conquered the world. Tzidkiyahu was the king of Judah. He comes in and he sees the Nebuchadnezzar eating a raw hare, a rabbit, raw rabbit meat, like a barbarian. So the Nebuchadnezzar says to Tzidkiyahu, I want you to take an oath, you will never reveal it. And he took the oath. He swore that he will not reveal it. We'll see, he revealed it. Yeah. Morad, he rebelled. Tzidkiyahu Melech rebelled against Asher Hishbio Belokim Maimar Duse. How did he rebel? Ashri Tzidkiyahu Nebuchadnezzar Davi Kochel Arnevo Chayo. It was alive. He was eating a living hare. He took a bite out of a living rabbit while it was alive. The man's an animal. Omale ishtabali dlo megalas iluy. Dlo sepik milsa. He says, I want you to swear to me you will never reveal this, and a word should not get out. That's what he said to Tzidkiyahu. Ishtaba. Yeah. Ishtabale. He took the oath. Lesof havikum tznar Tzidkiyahu begufei. Tzidkiyahu was pained. He wanted to share this. Ichel Ashvuasa, he went and he was shoal on the neder. No. He was shoal first. Yeah. He didn't violate the oath. He was shoal. V'omar, and he shared it with others what he saw. Shaman Nebuchadnezzar kamavazan like. So people are talking to him in a disgraceful manner. Even for Nebuchadnezzar, it was a disgrace. People say that what the man's a barbarian. Sholach v'aisi Sanhedrin. Tzidkiyahu. So he brought the Sanhedrin. Tzidkiyahu Omar lahon chazita mai ka'ovet Tzidkiyahu. He says, just look the way Tzidkiyahu is behaving. Lav hochi shtaba b'shmo deshmayu lo magilno. He swore in the name of God that he will not reveal it. Amru lei. So they said to Nebuchadnezzar, Ishtali ashvuoso. Yeah, but he annulled his shvuah. He's not bound. So he did nothing. That's what the Sanhedrin told Nebuchadnezzar. Amar lei. Ein. He says, yes, it's true. Wait, we're not finished. When you show that, does it have to be in the presence of the person you took the oath initially, or even not in his presence? Was shown not in the presence of Nebuchadnezzar. He swore to Nebuchadnezzar, and then he went and was shown, nullified it, not in his presence. Amri lay befonov. He says, I took the oath in his presence. Omlo vatun my aviditon. Almost, he said to them, Vatun, my vidita, so why did you do what you did? They were shoal for him. They were the bezdin that nullified the shua. My time of Amrita and Tzidkiyahu. Yeah. So he says, why don't you tell Tzidkiyahu that it wasn't a valid nullification? They had no right to nullify the neder because it wasn't in the presence of the one who he swore. Who he swore to Nebuchadnezzar. Miyad Yoshua Loretz Yidmu Zikne Batzion. Immediately, they what? They sat on the ground and they remained silent. The elders of Basil were silent. They had nothing. Om Reb Yitzchok. Rega. This is hey. Om Reb Yitzchok. Malami Shishomtu Karmi Tachteim. Meaning they were dethroned. They sat on certain like pillows to indicate their distinction. They were stripped of the distinction. Let's see the run. Let's start the run on top. Now, some want to say that when do you have to nullify the neder in the person's presence? Where the neder was made for the benefit of that person. Let's say I make a neder, I will not benefit from a person. I will not benefit. So and I made it in his presence, I will not benefit. you can nullify the neder whether it's in his presence or not. Because what does his presence have to do with me? If it's for his benefit, so by Nebuchadnezzar, I swore because not to embarrass him. So there, the only way he can nullify it, that he's aware that I nullified the neder, because it was for his honor. But if, let's say I swore I will not benefit from Nebuchadnezzar, and I swore in his presence, why can I nullify it? What his presence not if it doesn't make a difference, right? So why can't I? So that was the first shot that we're going. Ikaman diyoma davka kishaneder litzorach chavero kineder shenoda Moshe liyisro leishivimo lanoso. Did this? Originally, why did he take the oath that he's not going to abandon his father-in-law? He will remain with him. Uchshua sitkyo Nebuchadnezzar demaisi b'somoch shoysta toele taloto kadeshli vazu. She shouldn't disgrace, shouldn't embarrass Nebuchadnezzar. Why not? Just because I made a net in your presence, it has nothing to do with you. So therefore, I could nullify it even not in your presence. Umistabra, and the Ran says it's logical to explain it this way. The Milsa Talyo, the Milsa Talyo, b'mayde pligi, b'mushalmi, the time of day matir lo elo b'for. Dikaman diyom hosam time of the Milsa neish habusha. She's baish mechaver shanedo hoyel hanoso. If it's a question of you're embarrassed to nullify in his presence, and when you made it for his benefit, that'll stop you from doing it. So that's one opinion, Shalmi. We had this in the first paragraph, because he'll be suspect. The person made a neder, that I made a neder, I will not benefit from potatoes. I said to you, potatoes are off limits to me. Now I go nullify the neder, and you, who I made the neder, are not aware that I nullified it, and you see me eating potatoes. You're going to suspect me that I'm violating my neder. So therefore, if I made a neder in somebody's presence, he has to be made aware that it was nullified, because otherwise they'll be suspect. Or he says, I will not benefit from you, then he does benefit from him. He'll suspect that what? He's over al nidro. Tama fil nedeshu shlodo have noas chavero a matir lo elub fonov the kachosh suika ben hani trait lishning mandium neachshad shodiu matirlo. So therefore, what's another halachic difference? If it's a question, I'll be suspect. So let's say people go and inform the one who made a neder that he was matir neder. So then there's no shad. He won't be suspect any longer. But if the reason is because it's the benefit of that person, embarrassment, then it's irrelevant. We shouldn't have been matir neder. Shlo b'fonov the shul lekachas commandi of neabusha afilu hodiu dafka b'fonov koshlu b'fonov lekabusha hechda b'fonov balkorcho shalaver pshita the matir b'neder shein lanoso. He says ve'echadavi b'fonov ubalkorcho shalchavero pshita matirim b'neder shein lanoso shalchavero av b'neder shul lanoso vadi matiro el bedaito rabinu tam. Okay, we'll stop here.